Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division and we have the fight that everyone wants to see.
Okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say, you beat small guy, he's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be same. Everybody gonna talk same. But if I go up, takes a second belt, this is a legacy.
Knock him out in the first round. Once he's gonna start to walk forward, I'm gonna start with my combinations and I'm gonna put him to sleep. But at the end of the day, all the respects for Charles. We respect him. We appreciate for everything he has done in the sport. He's an amazing sportsman. That's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they know that I'm gonna beat him.
Before we move further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay locked in with everything happening in the MMA world. Let's get started. Ilia Topuria didn't hold back when he called out Islam Makhachev and his team, including Khabib Nurmagomedov, accusing them of dodging him because they know he'd beat Islam. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev gave his perspective on all the criticism he faces. He pointed out that even though he's already defeated Alexander Volkanovski twice, people still downplay it, saying he only beat someone smaller who came up in weight. Makachev said if he ends up beating Ilia Topuria, people will just repeat that narrative again.
Okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say, you beat small guy, he's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be same. Everybody gonna talk same. But if I go up, takes a second belt, this is a legacy.
Ilia Topuria also explained that he never really planned on fighting Charles Oliveira in the first place. He said that his main target has always been Islam, but since Islam keeps avoiding the matchup, Topuria feels like he had no other option but to chase after Charles instead.
At some point, I was a little bit sad because I didn't want to fight against him since the beginning. My real goal always was Islam. But since he decided to run away, it has to be Charles.
On top of that, Demetrious Johnson gave his breakdown of how this fight could play out. He said since Islam's a southpaw, he'd likely lean on body kicks, movement, and feints to keep Topuria at bay. He might also turn to judo to take it to the ground and work toward a submission.
Well, Islam's a southpaw, so he's gonna probably throw body kicks to keep his arms busy, keep a distance, move, feint, maybe use some judo to take him down and try to get him to the ground and try to submit him. But, you know, once again, like I have to see, I have to see what Islam does to JDM.
Demetrious added that Ilia is always dangerous once he finds his opening. And if he doesn't see it right away, he'll figure out how to create it. The big question is how Islam keeps him away from that spot, or if he's willing to go there himself.
Oh, the one thing that's the factor is that Ilia is always going to focus on getting to the right spot and find his opponents. When he gets there, he's going to unload. If Ilia can't get there, then he's going to figure out another way to get there. So the question is, how does everybody avoid that sweet spot against Ilia? That's the question, because Ilia is going to fight in a 25-minute fight. That's what it comes down to. And then you go from like, hey, how does Islam keep Ilia away from that spot, or does Islam meet him there? Right? There's so much that goes into it, and my brain is all over the place. So for me to give like a clear-cut answer, I'm just like, I'm running around in circles.
Ilia Topuria also claimed that Islam Makhachev decided to jump to welterweight to steer clear of him. He said if the UFC had matched Islam with someone like Justin Gaethje instead, Islam would have stayed at lightweight. Ilia believes Islam knows he's a serious problem and would get knocked out. And even Khabib doesn't want to see that happen because they know he'd win.
Ilia to avoid you? Is he scared to fight you?
Listen, I think that he took a great decision. If the UFC would offer him to fight against Justin Gaethje or some another contender in the division, I think that he would stay at 155. But with me coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm gonna move up to the 170. I'm gonna try to get another belt, and that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they know that I'm gonna beat.
In another interview, Ilia said he doesn't truly believe Islam is afraid of him. He thinks Islam just has other priorities and is sticking to his own path. Still, Ilia believes there's a good chance they'll clash one day, whether that means he moves up or Islam returns to lightweight to finally make this mega fight happen for the fans.
This was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk, but he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division, and we have the fight that everyone wants to see.
Beneil Dariush weighed in too, saying he thinks Islam still has the edge because of his size and the way he mixes up distance control with takedowns. He said that if Islam stays disciplined with his kicks and wrestling, Ilia will have a tough night. But he wouldn't be shocked if Ilia found a way to knock him out either.
I think it would still go the same. I think, Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he, distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But, from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makachev's lights out too.
Cory Sandhagen had a different view. He actually thinks Ilia Topuria would come out on top against Islam Makhachev. He explained that Ilia's frame makes him tricky to take down, and if they keep it standing, Ilia's striking is on another level. Cory also said Ilia's defense is tight, and he doesn't see Islam doing too much damage there.
I honestly think Ilia would win that fight.
Let me get your breakdown of that fight.
I'm going to actually go against, I think, what most people say, and I honestly think Ilia would win that fight. I think his stature is going to be hard to take down for Islam, and I think if those two are standing, I just think that Ilia is a way, way dangerous guy standing, and I just can't really see Islam hurting him because his guard is real good, and I think Ilia will win that one.
On top of all that, Ilia said his ultimate plan would be for Islam to capture the welterweight title so he can move up himself and challenge for a third belt.
I would love to see Islam getting the title and the UFC letting me go up to 117 and getting the third belt.
Belal Muhammad also chimed in, saying Ilia showed solid grappling against Oliveira, but going up against Islam is a whole new ballgame. He believes Islam's relentless control, constant pressure, and wrestling would really test Ilia's gas tank as the fight goes deeper.
See, the fight everybody wants to see is him in Islam. He showed that he does have wrestling defense. He defended Oliveira's takedowns on the ground. He passed his guard. He got to good positions on the ground. I know people are saying, oh, he got up from the ground, he didn't play the guard. It's like, he played the ground a little bit, then he got up, and then he knocked him out. So I don't know what you guys want. Everybody they're never satisfied, but he looked great. For me, when I look at that matchup and I break it down, I think Islam is very good with defense and with distance. If he's close, he's grappling. He's not staying in that brawling zone that Topuria loves. If he's within grabbing your range, he's grabbing you. And I don't care if Topuria is able to defend the first or second takedown. Islam is going to keep you there. He's going to push you on the cage. If I'm in Islam's corner, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping him there, especially for the first, second, third round, trying to initiate that takedown. Oliveira got the body lock pretty early. Islam is really good there with the trips, with the body locks, with the single legs there. I think he would have continued grappling there, and it would have been a lot more interesting. It would have definitely got past the first round, and we would have seen how Topuria held up. He didn't really need to show his cardio.
Belal went on to say, this fight has to happen, and it would be a wild one. He doesn't think it's just your typical striker versus grappler matchup either, because Islam's striking has improved so much. He said Ilia will try to back Islam up, keep him on the outside, and command the cage where Islam is less comfortable.
I'm excited for it. If it does happen, I do think it needs to happen. Stylistically, I don't think it's grappler against striker. Islam showed his last couple fights that he is comfortable on the feet. He's fought the shorter guy in Volkanovski, and he played a little bit striking. He showed moments in that fight where he knocked him out with a head kick. And then the Dustin fight, he showed his boxing. He showed that he can hit on the feet. I think with Topuria, who does have really good grappling, really good wrestling, he's going to want to push Islam backwards, keeping Islam on his back foot. keeping Islam's against the cage where he's uncomfortable and he's really good with his feigning. He doesn't really throw a lot of kicks.
Belal wrapped up his thoughts by pointing out that Islam is smart with his kicks and knows how to stay out of dangerous boxing range unless he's wrestling. He believes both camps are probably already talking to the UFC about making this fight happen. As for Ilia, Belal thinks he's properly rated, neither overhyped nor overlooked. He's proved his worth with those huge knockouts over Holloway, Volkanovski, and Oliveira. Belal praised him for always backing up what he says.
Other side, Islam is really good with his kicks. If he mixes the kicks up low, body high, Islam's not going to be in that boxing range unless he's grabbing you. I'm sure both of them are on the call or are on the line right now talking to Hunter or Dana, and they're trying to work that fight. Is Topuria underrated or overrated? I mean, I think he's rated right? He's your last 3 wins, be a knockout of Holloway, who's never been knocked out before, to knock out Volk, who looked great at the last fight, and then now just to knock out Oliveira at 155 upper weight class. I mean, how can you deny the guy? He talks and he says what he's going to do and he does it. So you got to respect him, you got to give it to him. But yeah, I don't think he's underrated at all.
Arman Tsarukyan didn't mince words either. He's sure that if Islam Makhachev had fought Ilia at UFC 317, it would have ended with a knockout. He made it clear that big shifts are coming in the fight game. In his view, Islam is simply on another level. But even as he credits Islam, Arman says his main focus is on climbing above everyone else and becoming the best fighter in the world.
What do you think would have happened if Ilia fought Islam this weekend?
Islam Makhachev.
He would have beaten him?
By TKO.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh, I mean, that's a different level of fighters.
You think so? Wow.
You can't compare Ilia versus Islam.
Really? I have Ilia #1 pound for pound now.
Yes, because Islam not champion anymore right now.
Right.
But when he gets the second title, he's gonna be pound for pound #1.
So you think he beats Jack?
He beats Jack.
Yeah.
Became a pound for pound #1. I'll be pound for pound #2 champion lightweight division, and then beat Islam and became a pound for pound #1.
Wow, I love it. You have it all mapped.
Aaron Pico gave his thoughts too, saying Ilia showed real champion spirit by calling people out and proving himself. But now that he's vacating the title, the situation changes. Pico thinks a fight between Ilia and Islam is exactly what MMA needs because their styles are so different. But he still feels Islam might be too much for Ilia in the end.
That's what a champion essentially is supposed to look like. Yeah. Make the calls, go out there, deliver on the calls. Then all of a sudden vacates the title. I mean, how do you feel? Because you said earlier, like you were looking at him and going, there's holes here.
I think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I mean, him and Islam, I mean, people really want to see that. Everybody has their own style, and it seems like his style is just doing what he did. Honestly, I believe Islam is just a little too much for him, but I'm also a fan, you know, so I would love to see that.
Georges St-Pierre also broke it down, pointing out the elite skill sets both men bring. He said when Islam connects, his opponents usually go down, which shows how dominant he is. He praised Islam's relentless style and top-level grappling. GSP said this matchup is so intriguing because both are so well-rounded, and that's exactly what fans want.
Yeah, I mean, that's another same thing. I mean, Topuria, when he touches, it falls, you know, and on the other side, Makachev, he applies so much pressure. He's an elite grappler. I mean, they're both good in every areas. It's a great fight for the fans.
In another talk, GSP spoke highly of both fighters' incredible talents and reminded everyone that's why Makachev's the champion right now. But he also said no one is unbeatable. Even the greatest can have an off night, and nobody is completely safe.
Skill set are amazing. I mean, he's champion for a reason, but nobody is invincible. Everybody can lose, everybody can make a mistake. And yeah, there's a lot of competition in this weight class.
MMA Guru gave his take too, saying if Ilia wants a shot at beating Islam, he'll need to start quick and try to finish the fight in the first few rounds. He knows Islam's grappling is world-class and he can end fights fast himself, but there's always that chance for an upset. He added that seeing Ilia land the perfect shot and KO Makachev would be absolutely wild.
He's got a round or two to put away Makachev. Makachev's good at putting away people in a round or two with his grapplings. I think he's up against the odds, but he can definitely pull it off.
And would you just love to see Ilia clip Islam on the chin and just sleep him?
It'd be funny. I want it to win.
Michael Chandler added that Islam clearly has a size advantage over Ilia at lightweight. He gave Islam big credit for his grappling, but said Ilia has the edge when it comes to striking. Chandler said, if Ilia can keep it standing, he's got a real chance. But he still thinks Islam's power, well-rounded game, and experience would likely get him the win.
If Islam fights Ilia, I mean, I think there's definitely a size difference. I think Ilia is a lot smaller than Islam. Islam is a big lightweight, a tall lightweight, and he's good in every area. However, Ilia's definitely got the edge in the striking department, and Ilia is very, very, very patient. Now, if he's able to not get taken down and he's able to just patiently break down Islam with those big shots that he lands, the big punches that he lands, it's going to be a good night for Ilia. But I think if Islam gets his hands on him and gets him taken down, I mean, grappling with 145-pounders is a lot different than grappling with Islam, who is one of the best grapplers that we've seen in a very long time. He's strong. He's great at doing damage and getting good positions. I'd have to give the edge to Islam just by size, by strength of schedule thus far in defending the belt, but I wouldn't count Ilia out.
Jorge Masvidal had high praise for Ilia's grappling, saying he'd bet big on him. He pointed out Ilia's excellent takedown defense and his ability to flip the script if someone slips up while wrestling him. Masvidal said Ilia's ground game is dangerous and can change things in an instant.
At the house on Ilia, his grappling offensively, it's very good. If like you shoot in on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put you.
Bo Nickal named Islam Makhachev as the top pound-for-pound fighter right now, but also said Ilia is a real threat. He mentioned how well Volkanovski did in his first fight with Islam, saying that shows Topuria could also hold his own in the grappling and everywhere else.
I think he's the pound-for-pound #1 right now. And I think he can win. And what makes me think that Ilia will do really well against Islam is that Volk's first fight with Islam. I'm like, man, Ilia's wrestling is way better than Volk's. And obviously, you could see how the striking went.
Mike Perry shared how hyped he is for this fight, calling Ilia versus Islam a must-see. He praised Ilia's performances so far and talked about how the fan energy from Spain and Russia would make the atmosphere electric. Perry said the passion from both sides would make the event one of the biggest ever.
Anyways, Ilia versus Islam is a really cool fight. Ilia's been great. The people of Spain and versus the people of Russia, we know there's two really big support systems there. That's a great fight.
Joe Rogan gave Ilia his stamp of approval for a shot at the lightweight title, saying he's absolutely earned it. He highlighted Ilia's knockouts over big names like Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski, saying there's no doubt Topuria deserves this opportunity. Rogan said Ilia has proven himself and is more than ready to step up at 155. A champion versus champion showdown.
Because you have a world champion versus a world champion. Like, if anybody deserves a fight for the world title in the next weight class, it's you. It's simple. It's simple. Yeah. You knocked out Max Holloway. I mean, it's simple. You knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, one of the greatest of all time. It's simple. That's a no-brainer. That's the fight. You know, he doesn't want to fight 45 anymore. He wants to fight 55. World title.